Hey, what is up, everybody? I'm here to give you my WWE Smackdown review for June 4th, 2015. Um, you know, um, I was gonna watch the show on time, but then I had to do something else, so I didn't have time. So now I'm just gonna lay back in my bed and watch it on my laptop, which is, I think, pretty cool. To be honest with you, that's like the best thing you can do is watching wrestling. As I like just laying in my bed and watching it. It's nice to watch it with your friends, but sometimes it's nice to watch it laying in your bed, nice and comfortable. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So, yeah, we're gonna have to see, what happens tonight, and I can't wait to see. I'm pretty psyched for this show, I guess. All right, so we have Byron Saxton, Tom Phillips, and Jerry the King Lawler on commentary for this show. And the first thing that happens is Seth Rollins comes out, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, to cut a promo. He doesn't actually have his title with him though because it was stolen by Dean Ambrose, and he cuts a promo how a year ago. Today he broke up the Shield, which consisted of himself, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns, and he said he did it because they were both just two scumbags, and um did every once he was done with them, he just and it was just time for the Shield to end. He just had to pull the trigger and just end the Shield himself. Um, and he talks about what he's done since then, how he won the Money in the Bank ladder match. He won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, and he says that he's the greatest member of the Shield, and Roman Reigns is going to try to surpass him. And he talks about how Roman Reigns is living under his shadow, and Roman Reigns is going to try to surpass him, but the sequel is not as good as the original. I liked that part right there. He cuts a good promo, and then he talks about how he doesn't have any championship. He says that he doesn't need any members of the Authority to beat Dean Ambrose at Money in the Bank. And then Dean Ambrose comes on the screen. He's holding the title, and he's backstage, and he's underneath a couple of ladders and stuff like that. And he says that Seth Rollins has always needed help because you and I are both scumbags, and you needed help just to. He says that when we were in the Shield together, you needed help just to get your luggage out of the plane, and you had a lot of luggage. And he brings up the fact that the Authority's going to do whatever it takes. The Authority's going to send whatever he wants Dean Ambrose's way because they want to make sure that the WWE World Heavyweight Championship stays with the Authority. And he even talks about how he's been to the top of the mountain before, and he's not afraid to fall down. And he says that he's gonna walk in with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at Money in the Bank, and he's gonna walk out WWE World Heavyweight Champion at Money in the Bank. And that was the end. I really liked this segment here; it was really good. I thought it was a nice way to start off the show. And then we get the primetime players, which consist of Dale Young and Titus O'Neil, versus the Ascension, which consists of Connor and Victor. So we get the primetime players versus the Ascension versus the Lucha Dragons, Kalisto and Sin Cara. And the winners will become the winners of this match will become the number one contenders to the WWE Tag Team Championships. This was actually a pretty good match here. I thought it was solid. The Lucha Dragons do a wheelbarrow suplex on Darren Young, I think. And they both do a double kick to Darren Young. I liked that spot. And eventually, Darren Young's just beating the crap out of Kalisto. No, it was Sin Cara. And Victor of the Ascension tags himself in. And he tries to beat the crap out of the Lucha Dragons, but they make a comeback and they do a dive onto the Ascension, and then eventually Sin Cara tries to do a Hurricanrana off the top. No, Kalisto tries to do a Hurricanrana, but Connor drops him face first on the mat, which I thought was cool. And the Ascension dominate Kalisto for a while. And then at one point, Kalisto tries to make a hard tag to Sin Cara, but Connor knocks him right off, rams him right into the steel post while he's on the apron. That looked like a pretty sick spot. And eventually, the Ascension hit that big throw move that they like to hit on the Kalisto. They tried to cover him. Darren Young came in and broke up the pinfall, and the Ascension took out Darren Young. And then Kalisto, Connor went to do a suplex to Kalisto, and Kalisto fought with knees to the head. He did a backflip, and Titus tagged himself in. He got the hot tag on Victor. Starts going off on him. He hits a power slam on him, and he goes for the pinfall, but Sin Cara breaks up the pinfall with a swanton bomb, and then eventually a bunch of chaos ensues. Titus takes Kalisto and throws him right into Connor, and then Victor tries to roll up Titus tries to win with the roll up, but Titus O'Neil kicks out, and then he hits a pump handle slam for the win. So the Primetime Players become the #1 contenders to the WWE Tag Team Championships. I assumed that this was going to happen because of what happened on Raw, the Elimination Chamber. So it was the match. So I knew the Primetime Players were going over here, but I still thought the match was really solid. And then the New Day, which consists of Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Xavier Woods, cut an awful promo. They talk about how the sun shines and it makes it sunset or something like that. No, the sun shines on this beautiful new day. And they have like these 3 steps that they're going to do at Money in the Bank. And they keep going, and they go step 1. We are going to beat the Primetime Players and going to stop them from the corruption of money because they think that they don't want to be tag team champions. They just want money. And step 2, we are all going to engage the WWE Universe in a clap with the chant "The New Day Walks." Step 3, Kofi Kingston will win the Money in the Bank because of their positivity or some crap like that. They really did that too. I didn't make that up. That was crap. And then Corporate Kane comes up and announces that and makes a match between Kofi Kingston and Neville. And they're not happy about this because Kofi Kingston didn't have time to prepare for him, and that was about it. This segment was terrible. It was lame. But that doesn't surprise me because the New Day's in this segment. But the New Day, I hope they don't do that, and that would be terrible. So then more WWE superstars do the sponsor for Sonic. The Primetime Players do it. The Miz does it. He doesn't really want to audition because he feels like he doesn't have to be auditioned. You should just be calling his agent. And the Big Show does it, and the Big Show's like eating all the Sonic because they're doing this for milkshake. He's drinking all the Sonic milkshakes because he's not feeling them. And Big Show says he'll buy more, and the guy's like, the guys, because it's half off. And then they go to walk off, and Big Show says, "Hey, I forgot my wallet at home. Do you think you can cover me?" I thought this was pretty funny. Then we get Ryback versus Stardust. I thought this match was okay. Ryback wins with Shell Shock, but there really was nothing to it. It was a decent match. It was just kind of there, but I still thought it was a decent match. And then Paige gets interviewed. She gets interviewed by Renee Young, and they do like a segment on the stage. And she talks about how Nikki and Brie, the Bella twins, are have been running roughshod pretty much with the Divas division, and they're not giving Divas a chance because they're not giving Divas like her a chance. They just want to be in magazines, they just want to be the face of Total Divas, and Paige said she's going to change all that. That was pretty much the gist of the promo. I thought it was okay, and that was the end of the segment. And I was just like, what? Because this is just something they could have done backstage. I guess they wanted to get Paige out there, I don't know. But I just thought this was something they could have done backstage. I thought like the Bellas were going to come out or something, or someone was going to lay Paige out, and then it was going to lead to a match or something. But no, it was just there. Like, I'm fine with them getting promo segments, but they really couldn't have done this segment backstage. Like, come on. Who books this show? But yeah. And I've been talking about, I talked about last week that Paige, the promo was fine, but Paige has no character. She's a bland character, so I mean, I like Paige's in-ring ability, but her character is just so bland that I just don't care. I mean, the promo was fine, but whatever. And then Luke Harper and Eric Rowan are backstage. They talk about how the world wouldn't accept them because they didn't talk, they didn't think, and they didn't act like the way they did. So now they're just gonna raise hell upon everybody else, pretty much. I thought it was pretty good promo. Oh, it was okay. And then we get Kevin Owens' NXT Championship Open Challenge. He talks about how he beat John Cena, and how John Cena says he's that kid that runs around with the John Cena t-shirt. And he said that's his son, and he's 7 years old. And then I'm watching it off that wrestling site, so it went off the air because I have to watch it off 2 posts. So that's kind of all that really happened. And so far, this section of SmackDown just kind of seems okay. I'm not gonna say that it's good because it just seems okay. Just want to see what's been good so far. The Rollins promo was good. The tag team matches were good. The New Day segment sucked. The Sonic stuff was funny. Ryback and Stardust had a decent match, and Paige's interview was kind of pointless. Harper and Rowan's backstage segment wasn't that bad, but I can't really judge the Kevin Owens' NXT Open. I already know who his opponent is. I know it's going to be Zack Ryder. One of my friends spoiled it for me, so yeah. I know it's going to be Zack Ryder, so yeah. But that's pretty much it for this section of the video. I'm going to go watch the other section, but I'm probably going to go to bed because I've been working all day, so I'm going to go, I'll watch the other section when I wake up. It's actually about to be 2 in the morning, so when I wake up later today, so I'll be back then. Alright, everybody. I went to sleep, I got up, had breakfast. I didn't get up till like 1, though, so yeah. But, I finally finished watching SmackDown, and I'm just gonna finish my review. So Kevin Owens, I talked about, was in the ring talking about how John Cena, how his 7-year-old kid likes John Cena. He looks up to him. And he said that's okay because he's 7 years old. And he realized something about John Cena, is that he's delusional. This whole hustle, loyalty, respect, this never give up attitude isn't a catchphrase. He actually believes in that stuff. And he says that he talked about how John Cena said that Kevin Owens isn't a real man, but he is a real man, and he says that he's going to beat John Cena at Money in the Bank, and he says somebody needs to take down John Cena, and he's going to do that at Money in the Bank. And what else did he say? He said something else, too. And he doesn't want his son to be a big supporter of a out-of-touch person, which I thought was kind of cool that he said that. And then he says that the Wheel Champ is here, and I'm going to have an NXT Open Challenge. And he kind of mocks the United States Championship Open Challenge that John Cena does by saying the NXT Challenge opens, and he says, I don't have a watch on me, but the NXT Championship Challenge opens now. If you want some, come get some of the champ, which I really liked. And like I said, I knew Zack Ryder had accepted. And it was pretty much a squash match. Kevin Owens hits a super kick and a pump-up powerbomb for the win. And afterwards, he hits a cannonball in the corner, then another pop-up powerbomb on Zack Ryder. To be honest with you, I thought this was good. This made Kevin Owens look really strong, so I was fine with this. And then Sheamus gets interviewed, and Renee Young asks him how he feels about going up against one of the favorites at Money in the Bank. And Sheamus says that Roman Reigns isn't one of the favorites. He's one of the favorites because I took out Randy Orton on Raw. And he says that he is going to climb the ladder and become the next WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And you can believe that. He steals Roman Reigns' catchphrase. I thought this was a fine interview. And then we get Neville versus Kofi Kingston with Xavier Woods and Big E ringside. This match was pretty good. I liked it. Behind the referee's back, the Big E clotheslines Neville, and then Xavier Woods puts him back in the ring, and Kofi Kingston dominates the match for a while. Then Neville takes control. He hits a missile drop kick on Kofi, and then he hits a tornado DDT, and he goes for the red arrow, but Big E Well, Xavier Woods distracts the ref. Big E pulls Kofi Kingston outside the ring. So then Neville hits a moonsault on Big E and Kofi. And then Neville, ne- ne- Neville tries to go for the red arrow again. And then Xavier Woods kind of stops him. Tries to take a cheap shot, but he gets off the turnbuckle. And then Kofi tries to wall him up for the win. Neville kicks out. And then Neville tries to roll Kofi up for the win. He kicks out, and then he punches. Then he knocks Xavier Woods off the apron, and then he reverses a roll up from Kofi and hits a roll up of his own. He gets the win, and then he escapes really fast before the New Day can go beat him down. I actually thought this was a pretty good match here, and it really made Neville look really strong. And I forgot to mention before this match, Neville cut one of those little video promos saying that he's going to win the Money in the Bank ladder match, and this is going to be the start of the Altitude Era. I thought that was pretty good. Oh, let me get a bad segment. We get Miz TV with Lana. So Miz is asking Lana questions, and he asks her why she left Rusev, and Lana says that Rusev treated her with disrespect, so she left. And then Miz says that that's all bullshit, pretty much. He says that she used Rusev, and once he lost at WrestleMania and injured his ankle, she left him. And you said that, and Lana says that that wasn't a business decision. She's being right, and she gives Miz two options, and she says, "You're giving me two options. I think either just leave or slap you in the face." And Miz says, "You don't want to hurt the moneymaker," and he says that every story has two sides to it, and he brings out his surprise guest, Rusev. He comes out. I was kind of thinking this guy really can't rest up. He can't rest off his injuries. I was just thinking, man, they really got to finish the storyline. I kind of wish they would just kind of forget about the storyline and just have Rusev be taken off TV and then bring him back as something else and push him that way. But that's not going to happen. I guess that's not going to happen. And Rusev says that he knows he treated Lana with disrespect, but he grew up differently. And he says that he wants Lana to be his crutch to help, because he says he can't stand or walk without his crutches, and he wants Lana to be his crutch. And Lana says, "I'll tell you where you can stick your crutch," pretty much referencing that he can stick the crutches up his ass. And then Dolph Ziggler comes out and just leaves with Lana like an asshole, right in front of Rusev. This whole segment was bad because it's a burial of Rusev and the storyline. To be honest with you, I had some interest in this storyline, but they went way too fast with this storyline, and it's just going to bury Rusev in the long run, so what's the point? The only way that it can be saved is if Rusev just destroys Dolph Ziggler. And it makes Dolph Ziggler look like an asshole, too. Rusev's the face in this feud, pretty much, if you think about it. And I don't get one thing, like Lana was the one controlling Rusev in the first place. Lana was the one that would tell Rusev to crush people, and she was the only one that could stop Rusev. And all of a sudden we're supposed to believe now that Rusev was the one in control of Lana when that wasn't the case. So I don't get it. But then we get the main event. We get Roman Reigns versus Sheamus. This was a really good main event. I really enjoyed this. Roman Reigns just starts selling the ribs injury, so Sheamus knees him in the ribs and hurts his ribs, so Roman Reigns rolls outside the ring. Sheamus tries to go after him. Roman Reigns lays him out with a clothesline. And then Sheamus starts to beat the crap out of Roman Reigns. He throws him ribs first into the apron, ribs first into the announce table, then just throws him right over the announce table. And then he just dominates Roman Reigns for a while. Roman Reigns tries to make a comeback. He goes for a drop kick while Sheamus is in the ropes. And Sheamus moves out of the way. And he pulls Roman Reigns' arm and uses that to send Roman Reigns ribs first into the ring itself. And then Sheamus continues to dominate, and then Roman Reigns starts to make his comeback, and he goes for the Superman punch, and then Corporate Kane and J&J Security, which is Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury, come out, and Roman Reigns gets distracted by this. Sheamus tries to win with a roll-up. He kicks out. He hits an Irish Cook Brass Breaker. Reigns kicks out. He goes for the Brogue Kick. Reigns ducks, hits a Superman punch, and he's about to hit Sheamus with the spear, but then Kane comes in the ring, lays out Reigns with a big boot, and that means Roman Reigns wins by disqualification. And He goes to chokeslam Reigns. Reigns fights out of it, and then Sheamus bro kicks Reigns, and then Kane chokeslams Sheamus. And I was confused by this. I was wondering why he did this. But then Kane grabs the mic and announces that he is the final participant in the Money in the Bank ladder match, which I was kind of disappointed about. I thought they would add a little bit more people in there, but I guess not. Then afterwards, Kane lays out Roman Reigns with a chokeslam, and then the show goes off the air. And to be honest with you, with SmackDown this week, I just thought it was an okay show. I can't really say it was a good show because it really wasn't. I just thought it was an okay show. Neville versus Kofi was good. Roman Reigns versus Sheamus was good. Ryback versus Stardust was fine. The tag team triple threat match was fine. And Kevin Owens NXT Championship Open Challenge. That was the highlight of the night for me. I like that. And the Seth... Actually, I'll say it was a good show, actually, now that I think about it. Because I can name a lot of good stuff. But a lot of filler on the show, pretty much. That was unneeded. So, I'll say it was a good show, though. Because I like the opening promo, the tag team title match. The WWE Superstars doing the spoke people is pretty funny. Ryback and Stardust had a decent match. Kevin Owens NXT Open Challenge. Sheamus had a good interview segment. Neville versus Kofi was good, and the Roman Reigns Sheamus match was good. So I'll say it was a good show. Because I can name a lot of good things that was on the show. But that's pretty much it for my review of SmackDown. You could click on the right hand corner below the video to subscribe and check out more content from me on this channel. And that's pretty much it, guys. See you later.